Alright, boys. This is going to be our most dangerous mission yet.
We can do this, guys. We got this.
Guys, I'm scared. Like, this place is an entire layer of hell.
Liam, don't worry. That's why I brought a special agent to help us with this particular mission.
Wait, you don't mean...
That's right. I brought him, the man himself, Dylan!
What's good, chat? What's the situation here?
Simple. We're raiding the home of the world's stinkiest man, Asmongold.
Oh, dear God.
It's for the greater good. If we can detox this place, the worldwide stink chemicals will go down by a whopping 50%.
Now that Dylan's here, we can do this. Everybody, charge!
I found the couch! Preparing for cushion removal!
Holy shit. The cockroaches have become so evolved here that they created their own kingdom.
Dude, that low-key reminds me of Hollow Knight. That game is so goated.
Oh yeah, we should actually talk about that game. I mean, especially since Silksong is releasing, Whoa, it's actually releasing soon, look at that!
Yeah, I think we can talk about it. The rest of the team should be able to sanitize the rest of the house, so let's find a safe room and talk about Hollow Knight.
And that brings us into today's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of the Fetch Quest podcast where we talk about video games and more. I am your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Connor.
Hello.
Liam.
Hello!
And special guest for today, Dylan.
Hello.
Yo, what is good, guys? I am so excited to talk about Hollow Knight. This is, if not my favorite Metroidvania there is. This is an amazing indie game, and it's the perfect time to talk about it because Hollow Knight Silksong is right around the corner, so everyone's about to play that, so perfect time to record an episode on that.
Is real! It's real!
I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's coming out in 2025, I'm gonna be real. I don't believe it.
17 years since Silk Song got announced. I never thought this day would come.
I don't think this day is coming. Look, I'm still prepared for September 4th when they just announced to everyone, oh yeah, that's a hoax, by the way. We're just releasing another trailer and it's delayed by 2 years. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that.
I'm ready for Hungry Night 2.
True.
Real. But yeah, no, before we get into...
sorry.
You first.
I was gonna say,
you're good.
Before we get into that, we've got to do our usual guest questions.
Like that's like, the Jeopardy or Family... I forget what fucking SoundCloud comes from. Point is, we have 3 questions to ask Dylan here. So, of course, as per usual with our guest, we ask 3 questions before we get into the main topics. Typically, the answers will most likely relate to the games we're talking about, but who knows? This must be different. But first, Dylan, first question. What is your favorite video game?
So, you're never gonna believe it, but my favorite game is actually Hollow Knight by Team Cherry. Currently on sale
really?
for $7.
Whoa, dude, that's crazy thing. We're actually recording an episode for Hollow Knight as we speak.
Oh my
That's
god,
crazy.
Oh yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna have I feel like the answer is gonna be the same on this one. But second question: if there was a game you could replay again, what would it be and why? Like for the first time.
Funny enough, it's actually not Hollow Knight for this one. I think if I had to pick a game I had to play again for the first time, it would probably be Super Paper Mario for the Wii.
Oh really?
It's my favorite. It's probably my favorite RPG ever, just because of the memories I have attached to it, and I would love to play it again for the first time.
Wait, you've played a 6th game?
I know, it's crazy. I love Super Paper Mario.
Dude, I actually never knew that. That's actually, dude, I'm actually really glad I asked that question because I never knew you played Super Paper Mario. That's actually a game I've never played.
Oh, God, dude, I'd love to sit down and just play it with you, dog. It's so sick.
Yo, You know what's crazy about that? I brought my Wii to my apartment, and I actually I shit you not, I have a physical copy of Super Paper Mario, so we could legit do this.
I'm down. I also have a physical copy of Super Paper Mario. I don't have it with me currently. It's at my house in Winston, but
No, I get that. I get that. Wow, that's pretty sick. No, I'm actually glad I asked that. But that leads me into my third and final question. Dylan, you are a gamer, so the question is, why do you play video games? This could be an open-ended. This is an open-ended question, of course. So of course there's no right answer, but we're just curious.
yeah. No, it's a little cheesy, but I play games to get closer to people. Most of like my gaming memories always involves like another person for the most part, and it's like kind of how I like got out of like my social shell when I was in high school and at the very start of college. So I game to just get closer to people.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. That's actually okay. I will say that. I will say this. That is actually a very unique answer comparatively to like most of our guest answers, which isn't a bad thing whatsoever. I just think it's very sweet. That's very awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's where I met literally like every single person in this call. So
True. Gaming unites us all.
it does.
Oh god. No, that's awesome, man. I'm really glad to hear about that. But with that being said, now that our audience has gotten to know you a little better, we're going to transition into Hollow Knight. Oh my god. How do I describe this game? I'm letting someone else do that.
It's a
O'Connor.
Metroidvania.
Really? What kind?
It
Metroidvania.
that's the best way to describe it. If you don't know what a Metroidvania is, it's a game that has a very large, expansive map that has a lot of branching pathways that you constantly go back and like go through each area multiple times. But usually you have different like upgrades, abilities that you go through in order to like you explore the level in a different or the environment in a different way each time you go back because you're constantly progressing with new like abilities, new things to like push you forward. And Hollow Knight is different in the fact that the entire world was hand drawn, which not many games do nowadays because it's a lot of work, and Team Cherry just went work crazy and made an entirely handcrafted world.
True.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Team Cherry only has four developers, 4 people working on it, or around that.
Was it 3? I thought it was a 3.
I thought it was 3.
Oh my!
I
Might
think
be
Was it actually just 3? Was it actually just 3?
It might have been. I know the score is by Christopher Larkin, who is a genius, but
True.
I'm going to go to the About page. The team: Ari Gibson, William Pellin, and Jack Vine, and that is it.
That's it.
okay, so like
It
4
is-
people total, like 3 for programmers, and then 1 guy for the music.
Oh my god! You're kidding me.
The guy for the music is outsourced. He is not Team Cherry.
Oh my god.
So
Oh
the
wow!
actual Team Cherry is 3 people. I'm
That's
looking at their
insane.
website. I'm looking at their website right now. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but this is what the website says.
No, that's it. No, thank you for looking that up. That is insane. Like, okay, this is obviously like it's hard to tell, like, to say in just a video, like how like big of a game it is, but like genuinely for a game of its size, like it has like I want to say like 70 plus hours of content in the game, like in total. So for only like 3 people to actually like sit down and like program and make this game, that's hella impressive, especially if it's quality.
No, it's actually.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like. There are a couple games that are like super small teams that have like an insane amount of level of quality, and like Team Cherry is one of them. Like, I can only think of like a couple others off the top of my head, like Stardew Valley being made by one guy. Actually, that's
Expedition
it.
33.
That is like 40 people who are actually part of the studio, but they had I mean, I'm sure the guy who made Stardew Valley also outsourced, but like the actual team is very small. And Team Cherry just went, we got 3 people and that's it, and they made one of the most like beautiful games in environmental storytelling I have ever seen.
I think we should tell the people what exactly it's about. I'll give like a little quick synopsis right quick. Hollow Knight sees you play as the player character, the Knight, Oh wow, very, very original, very creative. Where you are sent into the kingdom of Hollownest, where apparently there's a mystery going on within it that you have to stop, maybe with some sort of ancient infection or whatnot. But to do this, you have to journey through all of Hollownest to find out its different secrets, fight bosses, and eventually try to solve the mystery of what exactly happened to Hollownest to make this kingdom fall. Kind of
That's
Souls-like
that.
in a sense.
Oh, I.
Is this the
It,
Dark Souls of Metroidvanias?
yeah.
But like, it
It's
features
always
bugs.
every game. Like, I don't fault you for saying that, but it is the every game. Is this the Souls-like of this? Is Expedition 33 the Souls-like of turn-based
Turn-based
combat?
RPGs? No,
But yeah,
it's not.
no, no. The game is has and I feel like we haven't really brought this up besides the fact that we rated Asmund Gold, but the entire like story is all about like little critters. You're a tiny little bug guy, and you are in like this place that it's its own separate thing, but like you fight like different kinds of bugs, and it's very a bunch of insects and like tiny little critters, and like that's what all the theming is around. Like a lot of the bosses are different types of insects, and a bunch of the areas are like a spider den, or like a fungal.
There's like a beehive.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a beehive. There's like a fungal area, and it's all like it's got very distinct theming, and it adds a lot to the ambiance of the game, which is one of my favorite things about it. Is like everywhere you go, there is something to be said about what is going on in the area, about what the enemies are like. Like they're all very well orchestrated, and where they are, what they're doing, like that kind of stuff.
True.
No,
True.
it actually like it adds to the world, and like one of the things that like obviously like we're gonna get into the gameplay and some of the story later on, but like one of the things that Hollow Knight does really well to invest its player is just pure atmosphere. Like it's very minimalist in terms of like giving you exactly like the context of what's going on. It's basically I mean hell, the introductory cutscene is just the knight like coming into the very top of Hollow Nest and just like seeing it from the distance, and that's giving you the idea of where you need to go. But it's like the atmosphere and like the feeling of like this dread or this world that's just dying is so investing to me. And honestly, I don't understand people who only play it for 5 minutes, get a map, and then quit it.
No, it's
Yeah,
actually
dude, if there was a
great.
person out there that did that, I'd be like really upset with them.
Okay,
I would too.
this is a funny segue. Hi, I'm here. I only played this game this year. I started it in 2019, I think, after Godhood released, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna play this game." I was not a fan of Metroidvanias because I got very lost very easily, and so I dropped the game after, like, I think after around like Hornet,
Say
or
it ain't
maybe.
so. Yeah, you
And
said
I
you said it was
stopped playing.
Hornet. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the first ability, and I was like, this is cool, but I have no clue where I'm going now. And I stopped playing, which like it was a mistake on my part, but like at the time I didn't feel like it was my type of game. And then I went on sale on Steam. I think someone bought it for me, and I was like, I'm gonna play it. And
Yes, there was a certain
I
person who bought it for you. That's right.
oh yeah, it
And
was Guy.
It must have been Brewer.
It was Guy. Guy bought me the game. And then I played through the entire game, and I had so much fun. I beat it in like 2 weeks, I think.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, it was
honest.
something like that.
As someone who watched part of Liam's playthrough, he is a demon.
You don't make sense to me, Liam.
I will say I have a very funny track record with bosses in this game, where there are some
It wasn't
bosses.
even bosses. You beat Path of Pain on like your first try.
That is true, but my Hollow Knight experience was, if the boss was easy, I struggled with it, and if the boss was hard, it was a breeze.
It's crazy.
Dylan, guess what boss he died to? Guess what boss he died to, Dylan?
Wasn't it Massive Moss Charger? Didn't you die to Massive Moss Charger?
I died to the easiest boss in the game, Massive Moss Charger, and then I did not die to the last 2 bosses of the game, which I don't know
It's
how
hella
I did
impressive.
it, but it's really funny. I died more times to Soul Master than I did to the final boss.
Which is insane.
But
I don't
hey,
get it, man.
that's just the game, man. The game, everybody has a different experience with the game.
No, that's not the game. That's just you. That is just you, Liam.
Okay, it might also just be me, but like, everybody also did have a very different experience with the game. I think we all went
That
through
is
the same
true.
ending, right? Or
They
I
did
guess
it.
some of us probably got every ending.
Yeah.
Hi, Dylan.
Connor
I'm-
probably did.
I'm
Yeah,
working on it.
I've done everything there is to do. At least I was obsessed with Hollow Knight. I think I've
Wait,
112% of the game like 3 times.
Have you done Steel Soul?
Oh yeah, I've done a Steelheart.
Oh my goodness! Wait, it's Steelheart? That's
It's where
insane.
you 100%
For-
the game in Steel Soul and then finish it.
For context, people, that is a mode you unlock after beating the game initially. You die
Okay,
once, you have to restart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
It's insane.
It is. Dylan here is Mr. Hollow Knight. Bro has done everything the game has had to offer, plus any like, and more actually. You've
You
done more than the
speedrun it.
game has to offer.
Yeah, no, Hollow Knight
I
has, like, I'm not gonna, like, stay too deep into it. Hollow Knight has, like, an amazing modding community. There's a bunch of stuff to, like, quality of life to, like, entire, like, areas and bosses, which is just, like, one thing I love, because it just goes to show how, like, dedicated the community is to, like, their game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
That is true.
the people of this game have like, there's like an entire joke around. There's an entire joke around Silksong because everybody did not think that everyone was so excited for Silksong, and then it took 6 years.
Yeah.
Everybody and Silksong fans were the biggest copers in the entire world because every time there was any sort of like video game announcement, they go, "Okay, this is when Silksong gets a
Oh
new
my
trailer."
god, no, every single
Listen.
Nintendo Direct quote tweet was just about, like, Silk Song.
Listen,
There, oh my
I don't know if you had played the game at this point, Liam, but I'm personally never gonna forget the cake theory.
I did beat the game. I was there for Cake Theory.
I just want to say
talked
this
to you
right
about
now.
it, Connor.
I just want to say this right now. For those who don't know what cake theory was, we'll just explain this and get back to like real Hollow Knight. But oh my god, one of the developers led us on like a fucking wild goose chase to like he changed his profile picture to like an image of a cake. The cake was it was dated for April 2nd, and Nintendo was going to do a direct that day for games coming for the Switch 2, and people thought that Hollow Knight Silksong was going to be shown there. It was not shown there, and the developer even said that like this is a troll. This is completely meant to troll people, and it was so unfortunate because people were so excited for Silksong news. Then they just got fucking debated. It got to a point where I made an entire like news article about it for a class. It was that big.
Yeah, no, I know that guy made an entire like school project about Silksong not being real, and in the same year that he did that, it's coming out.
Which is so funny, dude. Oh my god.
I love
But
the
yeah,
Hollow
I
Knight
think-
developers.
I think we should probably talk about the actual game again because like
Yeah.
it is like the Hollow Knight has gotten like an expansive community because like it's one of those games where it just like you play it once and you're sucked into it. You can't escape because it's such a good game, and it's such a like you can feel like every ounce of it had like some sort of like joy put into it because the people that made this game, they loved making it, and you can tell. And I really want to just say this, but Silksong took so long not because they were stuck in some like horrible like crunch time, like money problems. They were just having too much fun. They wanted to add so many things to the game, and they had to stop so they could release it. And it is the one case of developer heaven, and it is the funniest thing in the world to me. And I'm so happy that I'm gonna get to play a game that is stuck in developer heaven. That sounds like such a good experience in a week and a day.
No, one thing
From this
like you talked
recording.
about getting sucked
A
in
week and
is,
a week and 2 days from this
oh my
recording.
god, 10 days,
What?
maybe 9 days. Oh my god,
9 days. It is 9 days. It is
Oh my
9 days
God.
until Silksong as the time of this recording.
Oh my
And
god, I
we will
can't believe it.
we will all disappear when that comes because
Yeah, no, you're never seeing us
we
again.
all we will all be playing that game. And it's really funny because these people, I don't know when Guy played the game, but Connor and Dylan I know have been waiting for a good portion of their entire lives for this game.
A good
And
third
I
of
want it to be
almost a third of my life.
I want it to
I
be
played in
stated
2022, I think.
okay.
I played this
Right,
during. I played this in COVID year, so I've been waiting about 5 years for
I
this
played
day.
Hollow Knight for the first time in 2018. A friend in 8th grade put me onto it. So I have literally graduated middle school and graduated high school waiting for this game.
That's
Holy
insane.
shit. That is insane.
That is oh my god.
Oh my god, we're
I
old.
Yeah, no.
graduated school and
That
I
should tell you
graduated.
how.
Yeah,
Sorry, Connor.
Oh
Liam,
my
you,
god, I played it in 2021. That was so long ago. Jesus God.
Liam,
Yeah.
we were talking before this recording. You put it into great perspective. When this game came out, Trump was currently in office, and by the time Silksong is releasing, Trump is back in office again. This game took so long. We went through one presidency. We went through like 2 entire presidencies waiting for this game.
We saw him.
That's
We saw
crazy.
him. We saw him leave and come back. That is how long it
And
took.
Silksong
We
was
saw
still
him-
not here.
Silk
That's
Song.
so funny, dude.
The time it took between Hollow Knight, Godhood, and Hollow Knight Silksong is longer than the entirety of the COVID pandemic.
No, that's what
Oh
I'm saying.
my
It's like
god.
I graduated middle school, high school, and I'm halfway through my college career.
That is insane.
This game is the most wishlisted game on Steam for a good reason.
I am so
Yeah.
tempted. I'll say this, and then we can actually get back to the game. I am so tempted to just skip class on that day.
I'm done
I'm
by
waiting.
noon. so
I
we
only
will
have one
not be
class that
doing
day. I
that.
only have one class that day.
Yeah, and I'm jealous because I have an 8 a.m. class.
Get owned, Connor.
Oh, that,
Yeah, I'll
Alright,
be done
but-
by noon, and then the
to-
rest of the day been playing Hollow Knight Silksong.
I will
Alright,
be.
but
I
to
will
circle,
be doing a very similar thing. Yeah, let's go back.
To circle back to Hollow Knight, actually, and to circle back to Liam's remark about how much love was put into this game, one of the parts that I think you can really see the love in this game is the combat, because it is by far one of my favorite parts about this game, because it is so good.
It's like
No, it's
how do I describe this? It's so simple but complex. It's like you can build the knight in a way with like your charms to make it like your own playstyle, but it's like he has such a simple moveset that they're able to do so much with the bosses because of that. It's like dude, oh my god, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
To explain the
so-
charm system real quick, the charm system, throughout the game you can find charms, and they give you little like passive abilities. So like one will increase the length of your attacks, or make it to where the spells you can use deal more damage, or turn you into a grub. That is also one that is in the game. And depending on your play style, you can really just mix and match whatever. If you if you like to sort of rely on the spells, you can go completely into a spell-based build. If you like to be close quarters combat, you can go for one that increases your damage and your nail length, so that way you can like deal more damage up close. It's really incredible how many like builds you can have in the game.
Absolutely. And for Hollow Knight first timers, the Knight's kit is, like I said, incredibly simple but also incredibly complex. He has swings in the main 4 directions: left, up, right, and down. And then the main complexity of the combat comes in the form of the spells. You have a fireball, a dive, and kind of like an up-based shriek move that does damage. And one of the main grabbing points, the attention focuses, is the Knight's ability to pogo off of enemies.
Pogo, my
Whenever he
goat.
down slashes successfully, he gains height from it, and people can chain pogos. And not only does that pogo send you upwards, it also refreshes both your dash and your double jump, allowing for some really unique and complex movement.
Pogoing is by far the best ability you have. Like, don't get me wrong, the Knight's moveset has some really good stuff, especially some of the upgraded spells. But the pogoing is by far the best ability you can get, and if you become,
It's what made me fall in love with this game.
honestly, yeah, no, it's why I've been trying so hard to do the to beat the final boss rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Because
pogoing is
Another
like
thing.
you first.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say another thing I love about the combat is just like the controls. Everything feels like obviously I'm like the whole joke about me is I don't play a lot of games, but with the games I have played, this is like the most tightest control system I've ever gotten to like work with. It's like the moment you stop holding the stick, your momentum is like halted. Like you are in complete control of everything this Knight does.
One thing, okay, this is gonna sound like a weird comparison here, but I think in that design, it was designed similar to a Kirby game. And what I mean by that is Kirby was designed to be as simple as possible with like movement, with the abilities that he has, and just basically like the idea is that you can pick up and play it to understand, like not have to like think of like so many different things at one point. I think something similar was taken with the approach of Hollow Knight in the sense of we want players to be able to pick up and play the game with a very simplistic moveset, but if they want to, we can make it complex for them by giving them simple abilities that have large applications. Like Dylan said earlier with pogoing, not only can you pogo off enemies, but you can also pogo off spikes like terrain and whatnot. So you can just skip like entire areas of the game that you're not meant to do, which is so cool. And they do a lot of the stuff later in the game as well, where you can pogo off spikes to like reach different areas, and they require you to do it, especially for the Path of Pain, my beloved.
I love Path of Pain.
Path of Pain is funny.
No, I agree with that, especially with like the pick up and play anytime. Because like once you do a thing in Hollow Knight, you can like it's like, oh, I want to go beat a boss, and I beat a boss, and now there's more areas. So it's like you do a thing, and now there's more thing to do, and you can either like keep your combat simple, it's like you said, but the game also like gives you a chance to like open up and express more.
Yeah,
True,
no,
true.
it's sick. I think also like one thing, like you mentioned this earlier, Dylan, I think this is one thing that adds to that layer of like complexity is the spell system. So basically, when you attack an enemy, you gain something called soul, which you can use soul to either heal yourself. If you hold down the spell button for a certain amount of time, you can heal yourself, or you can use it for high damaging moves, which some of them are some of the most powerful attacks in the game. Like I know the shrieking spirits, like the when you cast upwards, is like one of the most powerful moves in the game. I was able to cheese well, not really cheese, but I was able to like get through the final boss actually pretty quickly with just how much damage I was doing with that. But the thing is that it adds a layer of risk reward of if you were near death, are you going to spend time to try and like use a window of opportunity to heal, or do you think you could clutch out a little bit, use a high damaging spell, and continue the fight? It's a lot of decision making that you have to make within like a few seconds that adds like an extra layer of complexity from a very simple moveset. And that's the thing I love about Hollow Knight so much. The game gives you a lot to work with, even though if you look at like the actual inputs of the night, it's not that much. But the thing is, through combat and through these boss fights and enemies, it's just a lot to think of. And God, this game is so good.
It's so good. No, I agree. And like one thing I've noticed, I've watched a bunch of people play the game. And like I said, it's so simple yet so complex because literally every single person plays this game differently. I've never seen two people play the same way ever. despite like how like quote limited the knight's like initial move kit is.
Yeah, no, that's the thing though, because like they've done such an excellent job of designing the world around the moveset of the knight, and I think that the game is also really well paced around the abilities that you get for the knight. Like double jump, I think is given to you at a very perfect point in the game. I think the hook claw is such a good addition. The game just does an excellent job of like pacing itself out with new abilities for you to apply into your traversal. By the end of the game, you're just like jumping off everything and just going to like zip zap zoo wherever because of just how much stuff you have. But the game gives you like it gives you it over time to make sure that you're able to learn it and learn its applications. And like
Well,
you
it
said,
feels earned.
that
It's like
you first.
where it's like, oh yeah, no, it's like I said, it's like being able to just do whatever you want feels earned after all that time. Like in most Metroidvanias, it's like, oh, you see a cliff, but I don't have the means to get up that cliff, and then you do get the means to get up that cliff, and you can explore the new areas, and then you get the means to just straight up like never have to interact with that cliff again.
No, literally, the ability. It's something that you first, Connor. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just agreeing with
Or was
Dylan.
that
Where
late?
No, it was me.
Oh, okay. Hi, Connor.
I was just agreeing with Dylan because I think the way they handle it's one of the best. Like, if anyone wants to get into the Metroidvania genre, I would recommend this game, honestly, because it's such a well. It executes on that idea of like exploring and being able to essentially like unlock stuff as you progress, and it makes the map feel like it's this whole interconnected puzzle where once you get the right piece, you can really have all the freedom to do what you want. Some of the best like Metroidvania games do this, in my opinion, like Ori. Obviously, this isn't like technically a Metroidvania game since it's the creator of the genre, but like Metroid games, like Super Metroid does this like really well, and just other like games of that ilk do it insanely well. But I think
Oh
Hollow
yeah.
Knight's one of the ones that sort of puzzle piece philosophy the best.
It's really like the modern day like staple for how to make like a proper Metroidvania, and not even that, how to take it to like it's like a beautiful limits to where like Hollow Knight does everything right. I do have one thing I will say. I think the game, and this is something that can be remedied, but like I'd say that like it gives you like a good sense of progression in a way where it's like it just feels natural, but it's not like you don't really feel how much you've progressed, and then you realize that like the way you move is so completely different than before that like it just feels great. Like the crystal dash, you start going through like really long rooms that would like take you like a good like 10 seconds maybe to get through, now become like 3 seconds where you just blast through them. You're going through like areas with like a bunch of enemies that used to take you a while. Now you just one shot them, you just go through them really quickly, and it's just a really succinct, good sense of progression in the game.
You know what's crazy about your point about like this being like a pure example of a Metroidvania? You know what's really interesting about that? I read an article today.
What?
Um, if Silksong manages to sell half of the amount of copies that Hollow Knight 2017 did, then it would have outsold the entirety of the Metroid franchise.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
And
like
we
I
know it
legit.
is probably going to sell more than Hollow Knight because the hype around this game is pretty unmatched right now, I'd say. And this is just because of the scale, but like this and like GTA 6 are like the only games that are like where people like everyone's at least looking at it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Exactly.
That fact makes me both like really happy, but also really sad because I think Metroid should have more sales because it's a really good franchise.
Of the two games I've played in the Metroid series, they're absolutely incredible video games. But I do think like that is telling that there's just a new top dog in the Metroidvania, like on like what a like peak Metroidvania is in the modern day.
Yeah, Metroid Dread.
You wish. No, I'm kidding. I love Dread. Dread's one of my favorite games.
I was about to say, watch it, bro.
No. That's for a future video.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Well,
Oh my god. Yeah, no. I do think like you do bring up a good point though. Is that like Hollow Knight kind of I don't want to say this is confirmed or I mean it never was confirmed. I don't want to say this is the case. This is pure speculation. But I do want to maybe suggest that Metroid Dread actually finished development because Hollow Knight released. Like I'm just throwing that out there. Like cuz Hollow Knight sold very well, high critical acclaim, one of the best indie games of all time. Few years later, Nintendo announces that they're actually finishing development for a game that they quote-unquote scrapped. Does really well, one of the best games of that year. All I'm gonna say, man, is I think Hollow Knight has a lot of influence over like Metroidvania genre, the Metroidvania genre already. But it's just that's it. That's just me, conspiracy theorist, a little bit. But holy shit!
I was about to say I don't know what the Metroidvania genre
Shush,
is.
shush. I have a little bit of alcohol in me. Okay, so that's my excuse.
Okay,
Ooh,
I will say
ridiculous.
it didn't have to do much with Hollow Knight, or at least it's claimed it didn't. But it was mostly due to the success of Samus Returns that they finished it.
That's fair enough because
Which
that was
came
the
out?
same developer.
Which did also come out in 2017.
Wait, it did?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So,
Samus Returns came out that long ago? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I don't think
Timing.
it was Hollow Knight, but Hollow Knight did influence the Metroidvania genre. I played a Metroidvania this year that was very obviously inspired by Hollow Knight called Nine Souls. Also a very good Metroidvania. I very much enjoyed it. So I would say that like it's a staple. And what's crazy is that I would still say that it's like I know it's an amazing game. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I still have one like kind of big flaw with the game.
The ink.
Which is
I think that, and I know this is part of the genre sometimes, but I think that the push to put you in the right direction can be pretty poor in terms of getting you to the right location, and I think that is because so much of the air, so it's so like detailed
I agree.
crafted, where I think that for new players, finding the next area to get some progress in is so difficult that it increases the time of the game to be arbitrary, makes it arbitrarily longer because you do so much backtracking without actually knowing where to go. That was why I stopped playing the first time, is I didn't know where to go after Horde and spent so long in the same area that I just didn't want to keep playing the game. And it's a thing of like there was an area for me to go, but it's a problem of not having any sense of direction earlier on, where later on, like the game is very much a later on, all of the pieces of the puzzle have been fit together where you get this like beautifully crafted, everything's like flowing together, everything is so good. But that early game, it just feels it's very convoluted where to go. You don't have a lot of like movement, so you don't, by design of course, but that early feeling of direction I just don't think is there, and there's no like nudge really. You kind of just have to stumble upon it, and I think that is a flaw with the game, where the early game of Hollow Knight is not very not.
No, I actually 100%
Hey,
agree
Liam,
with you.
Liam, that's
What's up?
crazy. You know what, Liam, that's crazy. You know what you should have done?
I didn't look up a guide if that's what you wanted to say.
You should have EXPLORE.
Okay,
Oh,
here's the
oh my
problem,
God.
Connor. Here's the problem, Connor. I
Yeah.
spent 2 hours in between Green Path and the Forgotten Crossroads, and I didn't find it. I didn't find the
No,
one
I
place
actually
I
do
had to go.
genuinely agree with you, Liam.
What were we saying, Dylan?
Hollow Knight. Oh, I was just saying I agree with Liam, and I was gonna expand on that. Hollow Knight does not tell you what to do, like basically ever. Most of the storytelling and like hints on where to go is actually like just like kind of like either in the background or like Liam said, you have to stumble upon it. Liam, do you want to know what the correct answer to that? The correct answer to like your predicament there is actually so incredibly silly. I want you to guess what the right answer there like is without like looking up a guide. Like the answer is in game.
Are there like
It's talk to Elderbug. Elderbug is your hint guy, and the game never tells you.
Wait, really?
I did not.
Yeah, no, Elderbug will just like if you like, you can even do this after you've beaten the game. Whenever you do things in game, it will prompt Elderbug to like say a thing. So you could literally like go onto the game right now, go to Elderbug, and he'll be like, I've heard there was this like lost like city down there somewhere, or just some bullshit like that. Which I do, like I said, the game never like really tells you anything, and the hint guy is the freaking first NPC you ever see in the game.
That is.
So like,
Dude,
there's
I
like,
never
not too
knew
much of an
that.
incentive
What?
to.
I never knew that too, because
Oh my God, I'm
like
looking
I
at his
said,
wiki page. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, no,
What?
and it shows because like looking at Steam achievements, like only 60% of like players actually beat Hornet once.
That is
Only
that is
only 60% of players actually
crazy.
beat Hornet.
'Cause-
So like I agree with you, Liam.
No, because like they don't give you much in terms of like direction, and like that is by design. I think that that philosophy isn't executed well in the beginning as it is later on, whenever that becomes a more non-issue, because you have all of these like abilities to like push you across the map. But like when you just have walk and maybe dash, it just feels like and this might just be a me thing, but I've looked and I've seen a similar consensus with a good amount of people online, and I know online is not the
like
best.
the quote-unquote barrier to entry.
Yeah, the barrier to entry into getting to the good, like the meat and bones of the game, is a little high, but that is basically my only complaint. I don't think I have any others. I just think that it is a harder game to get into, because if you don't know where to go, you can spend hours lost. And for some people, I won't name who they are, they will spend 5 minutes, get a map, and then realize that they don't want to go exploring, so they just stop playing.
Well, apparently.
No, you're not the first person to have that complaint to me. Oh my god. Yeah, Connor, you go ahead. I completely forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, no, that's not the first time I've like heard that complaint. I just kind of have to tell people that like it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, you know what, Liam? Fair enough. But apparently, this person who shall not be named, apparently they just don't like 2D platformers like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but other than that, that is like my one big complaint with Hollow Knight, and like I said, that gets remedied later in the game for me. I think the start of the game is just hard to get into, but once you do, it is impossible to put that game down. It is that good. I think it.
I will say-
I think Silksong is that.
What?
I will.
Since Hornet would be faster.
Yes, Hornet's moveset looks already like base game way more expressive, just because they're not gonna we don't know, we still don't know if it's a prequel or a sequel, but like it already looks like she's going to have like some insane movement options, and I'm so excited.
I'm so incredibly excited for normalized aerial combat. Oh my lord.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, the aerial combat isn't really a thing in the first game, but that's okay.
I disagree.
But your aerial combat is pogo.
I was about to say pogoing.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why I
I
said
get that.
normalized.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But like the enemy moves, no more pogo. You have to go back and then pogo more.
That's how you track them. But
True.
speaking of, have we gone over like actual bosses, such as like which ones are our favorite and whatnot?
I'm gonna be.
I don't think we talked about bosses.
We
yet.
haven't
We
really.
like kind of touched on like a few.
Because I think
Yeah.
I know Connor's boss is also my favorite boss. Is also my favorite boss. I don't know
Yeah.
if that-
I guess we could, before we like, really get into that conversation, I guess we could go around and say who everyone's favorite boss is.
I'll let you guys go
like
first.
the Mantis Lords. They're my favorite. I think it's the perfect culmination of what Hollow Knight does really good, which is basically turn boss fights into a rhythm game. And once you get the rhythm of the Mantis Lords, it becomes like a dance, and it is my favorite. It was my favorite feeling in the game.
Yeah. Mine are technically the Mantis Lords, but the souped up version of them in one of the DLCs called the Sisters of Battle. It's my favorite fight in the game for the specific oh my god, specific reason that Liam stated, where it feels like a dance almost. And I know I gave Guy a bit of crap for this comparison earlier, but it does honestly feel like a well-designed like FromSoft boss fight, where in my opinion something that makes FromSoft boss design so well is that if you can get the patterns down and stuff, and like just the general like movements of both your character and the boss down, those boss fights can almost feel like a sort of dance as you weave around their attacks and stuff like that. And it's like also my favorite like bit of design that Hollow Knight has within some of its boss fights.
Yeah, my favorite boss is the Pure Vessel. I absolutely adore the Pure Vessel. I can go.
I was gonna say,
If we're not talking about spoilers yet, I have like an entire rant I can go on about why I love Pure Vessel from a story perspective.
I think
Go for it.
But it's like
well, I was gonna say honestly,
okay.
like, maybe we shouldn't, just because like people who watch this might be wanting to get into Hollow Knight, so we don't want to spoil them, you know.
No, yeah, no, I can avoid like spoilers at least for now until we're talking about the story where we get to like the oh my god we're talking about spoilers. But no,
No,
I
fair
love the
enough,
Pure
fair enough.
Vessel. Combat wise, it's like for me, it's the same way I feel when I fight like Mantis Lords and Sisters of Battle, except instead of like a tango, it's a waltz.
Yeah, no, I feel
Like
that too.
it's like slightly slower. It's slightly slower, but it's like more controlled. It's more like you're like it like you're just there. It's just you and him.
I completely understand what you mean by that, because like that's also why Pure Vessel is like my second or third favorite fight in the game. I haven't really.
No, and it's like I feel the same way because Sisters of Battle is like in my top 3.
Yeah. I think it's just like I like the faster pace of Sisters of Battle more. IMO.
For me, I like the more like investment. It's like every hit you take is double, so you just have to be that much more on point.
True.
What about you, Guy?
All right, so I have a couple bosses that I have for this because I don't really have a definitive like number one, but I will say this: I think both phases of the final boss are contenders for my favorite. I love that. I love both those fights very well. I think the first one is just like we said, it's like a dance in terms of like weaving in and out of attacks. It's very difficult. You have to be on point with your attacks. You have to make sure that you're able to avoid attacks very precisely. Very good fight. Second fight, it's basically that, but a lot more platforming and a lot more positioning, which I keeps me on edge. I love it so much. I'm not gonna say what it is because that is for the audience to know, and if they've played it, they'll know what I'm talking about. But I do want to give some credit to the Soul Master. I love this guy's gimmick a lot. like it's not as much as a fight, but it's more so of like a reaction test of are you paying attention to like his attacks and what he's doing, and are you going to be able to react and punish him for it? I really love the Soul Master of that. The Sisters of Battle slash the Mantis Lords are also a contender up there for me. I love that fight so much for all statements given previously, and just for the pure meme factor, Dung Defender is the GOAT. Oh my god. Love him.
Guy, can I give you a fun Dung Defender fact?
Yes.
It's about his upgraded version, the White Defender. The White Defender is one of my favorite fights from a mechanical sense, in the sense that you can wobble him to death. Whenever he goes, so the key difference from the Dung Defender and White Defender fight is the fact that A, the boss is faster, but B, White Defender does not stagger. Which means whenever he goes into his bouncy ball attack, you can just juggle him until he dies.
I did watch.
Oh
you
wait,
do
I
that,
think you
Dylan.
told me about that before. What?
Yeah, I call it the White Defender wobble.
Dude, that's crazy.
And I like that. Also, I
Wait.
just love Dung Defender.
Wait, that's
I like
actually
when he
insane. I
goes
never
War
knew that.
Thunder.
He's a homie.
We do
Yeah,
love him.
because you can technically do the same wobble on Dung Defender, it's just midway through he'll stagger out of it.
That makes. But they didn't program that for White Defender.
Yeah, White Defender doesn't stagger. It's supposed to make the fight harder.
But in actuality, it's just a gimmick that you can utilize. That's really funny, actually. Wow.
Yeah. No, but no, boss design. I love Hollow Knight boss design. I think every boss, except for like 2 of them, are crafted really well.
What are those two? I'm curious. What are those two?
Fuck Markoth, specifically the P5 version. What if it was regular Markoth, but there was no floor? And also Marmu. I just hate Marmu. I do not like Marmu.
I will agree with the Markoth one. But personally, a fight that really, really gets on my nerves is the one. I can't really say because of spoilers, but it's the it's the Pantheon version of the dream fight of the Joe character.
I know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
I know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
hated that one for the longest time. I hated that one for the longest time, and then I figured it out, and I actually kind of enjoy it now. But no, I hate it.
I haven't figured.
I do agree, because like the biggest gimmick of that fight is just what if nothing was properly telegraphed?
Exactly, and that's why I hate it.
He fumbles around like a bumbling baby, and he kicks your ass for it.
Yeah, but
What was
I'll
the?
figure it out.
What was the one? Sorry,
Oh
you
my
first. You
wait.
first.
I'm sorry. This just like I was like trying to remember which boss you guys were talking about. The final boss of the Grim Troop, like the second part of that might be my favorite boss.
Oh, I love NKG so much.
MKG was
Go.
probably the hardest boss I fought by good margin, and it was so satisfying to finally beat it.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a random thought. I was listening to you guys talk, and I was like, what DLC was that again? And then I was thinking to go through the DLCs. I remembered the DLC, and then I remembered the boss, and I was like, oh my god, that might be my favorite boss.
Lamau.
Anyways, sorry for just shooting in there real quick.
No, you're good, dog. You're good. What's the one fight that you use the dream nail for to like you fight the spirits, and he's just like a little like worm guy. He goes.
Gorb? Are you talking about Gorb? I love Gorb.
Gorb, yes, the Great Mind Gorb. I love that guy.
Mind Gorb.
The great mind of Gorb. Are you ready? Who's ready to ascend with Gorb?
He's awesome. He's my favorite. He's
I
glorious.
love that he just tells you to ascend.
Exactly.
It's so funny. Oh my god. What's funny too is that like he's in a like very like dark and like mysterious part of the map. So just have an enemy who just goes, follow the Great Mind Gorb, and go. It's so funny.
It's
Oh my
great.
god, it's not even a hard fight. It's not even that memorable of a fight. It's funny.
It's a funny
It's just
dude.
Gorb is memorable.
But yeah.
No, that's the thing I love about. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was about to transition topics, so if you have something to say on bosses, you should probably say now.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, I love that like the bosses have like a wide range design wise. It's like you have like your cool edgy bosses, but then you also have like your cute like joke bosses, and then you have literally everything in between. And just the diversity of like how every boss plays and their personality. It's just oh my god. Play Hollow Knight, experience everything.
True.
Kind of
And
real.
I think I was about to say one part that I think makes these bosses really memorable, and the thing I've been honestly most excited to talk about this video is the music.
Oh my god.
I
Oh my god,
Oh
I
my god, the
love
music.
Christopher
I
Larson.
will say this right now, as I say this every time we talk about music, but there's this YouTube channel that I semi-frequently watch called Music Theory for Gamers, and they usually do reaction streams to like soundtracks for games, and I have watched the Hollow Knight one so many times because the way he's able to break down some of the like musical stuff is really cool. And I think Christopher Larkin is a genius when it comes to like being able to compose music.
Oh my god, everything from like the combat music to the environment, literally every single environmental track, like obviously yeah, they sound different, but they like all feel different to fit for the environment. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's more like
Um,
string instruments and like the jungle wastes, and then you get the City of Tears and it's piano, and I'm like, oh my god.
yeah, like City of Tears has like a heavy sort of piano like string usage, whereas like Green Path has like will use like a lot more like textured instruments like wood blocks and stuff like that. My favorite fun fact about the music is Hornet's battle theme uses only strings due to the weapon she uses.
That's actually I didn't know that. That's actually
I didn't know that
Yeah,
either.
no.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I love little details like that. Like whenever like indie game music, it's like oh Undertale's gonna be brought up. One thing I love about Undertale and its music is the way like it all like also tells a story. So like to be able to like see it in other games, because Undertale it's like the most obvious in, but it's like you said with that fact. I didn't know that, but it adds so much.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. This obviously when it comes to indie games and you bring up like leitmotifs or anything, it's always Undertale or Deltarune. But this game also has a
Yeah.
very good usage of leitmotifs within its like tracks and stuff like that. That also tell a story. It's just a lot less subtle than in Undertale.
No, one of them
A
that
lot
I like
more
kind
subtle.
of picked up on that I love. It's just like the vessel tracks
Yes.
and like the sharp violin that's like in all of them.
Yeah, my favorite example of that is when I don't know if it's really like leitmotif, but the whenever you die, like in Souls games, you can go back and essentially have a way to recollect your like
Your souls, your
money,
runes, your currency. Yeah.
your geo in this case. But when you approach the thing, it's like a little mini fight, but it'll play a specific track, and in a later part, like a very very important part later in the game, you can hear that same
Oh, I love
track, like the same like music in the track when it plays, which is very important for lore reasons.
No, I know what you're talking about, and like it actually gives me chills.
It's amazing. Yeah, but I just wanted to glaze Christopher Larkin for a bit because the Hollow Knight soundtrack is one of my favorites in a game. Like only
It's
really
so good.
really only unsurprisingly only really beaten by Deltarune and Undertale's soundtracks.
No, I agree. Hollow Knight music is so good. I've also done my fair share of glazing chroma. Like I love I love the Path of Pain track. I know it, which also appears in like the fight where that level represents, which is also fucking beautiful.
Yes.
But oh my
No,
god, no, I love that track specifically.
that's
I
one of the
don't know.
biggest things about the Hollow Knight. Oh, sorry, you first.
I was gonna say one last thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but every environmental track also has like a amped up battle version of those tracks whenever you get into combat. It's like really, it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's really cool. I think my favorite version of that is the one that's in Green Path.
I was just about to mention Massive Moss Charger and also like the Way to Great Slash. I love that track.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh hell yeah. I was gonna mention like we've mentioned this like time and time before, like we've mentioned it in a lot of videos, but like it is just like apparent that like music adds so much in terms of investment and just the idea of like getting you invested into a video game. Like, dude, I can remember the City of Tears like soundtrack like off rip because of how like memorable it is, but also just like added to the mystery of the world and just added so much in terms of just like what exactly this world is and what it is, what this area is into the context of the world. And that's only one area. I think this game just does an excellent job of just making its music feel alive. And like it adds to what I said earlier about how this world feels so alive. It feels it feels lived in. And I just God, I
No, it's just
love
so
the
vibrant.
atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was
completely
gonna say on that. Dylan, were you gonna say something?
No,
Or
the tracks are awesome. Oh no, I was just gonna say like just to like wrap it up. It's like yeah, Christopher Luckman's a genius, generational artist. Hollow Knight soundtrack is amazing, and like listening to it while playing the game, especially for the first time. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
hell yeah. Liam, do you have any
All
thoughts
right.
on Hollow Knight music?
I think it's very good. I was listening it to I think yesterday in the gym because the boss music was kind of peak, and I like the calm music more though. I feel like everybody keeps talking about it, but City of Tears is just such a good little
It's
piece of
so
music. But
So
The piano is my favorite instrument, and therefore I love City of Tears.
Kind of real.
it really
but I think we might be ending the because although it's got a lot of content, the main game of Hollow Knight is like 20-25 hours, right?
it's
That's like if you're
Yeah,
doing like
it's-
that's if you're doing like mostly campaign stuff, yeah.
That's
yeah.
because
yeah, I was gonna say
I
like my first playthrough was around
I think I've
20 hours. My first 100% was like 60.
I 100%ed like base game. I believe I have all the charms that you get in base game, got all the grubs, got all the upgrades, everything else. So I think like in terms of like base game, it only took me like 20 hours to get everything. But like all the there's so much stuff with the DLCs because by the way, all the DLCs are free, which is such a cool thing. They just added 4 free DLCs with like an extra 50 hours of content just because they can.
Oh my god.
Like and now and it was just
What's
awesome.
even crazier is that Team Cherry actually received a little bit of backlash for Gods and Glory simply because of locking an ending behind the thing you have to do, which I don't understand,
Wait,
but oh well.
Wait, so because locking an ending, they wanted to make one of the endings
Behind Pantheon 5. People complained that they locked an ending behind Pantheon
because
5.
it was very difficult and people thought that
It gets very difficult.
that's
insane.
so. Why would you complain about that? Locking an ending behind Man, that's so
Man,
stupid.
no, we're so spoiled.
Like you get 4 free updates, including in the one with the biggest update, which added the most amount of new content. You went, I don't like it because I'm not good enough.
I'll just say my only real complaint about Gods and Glory, funny enough, is the music, and that once you get to Pantheon 5, every theme is the same except for like 5 bosses, and it makes me miss listening to like the actual boss music, and that's my only complaint ever.
All right. Yeah, no, the DLC
yeah,
of this game is very cool. I need to play more of it, but unfortunately I will not because I will be playing Silk Song.
Real as fuck, dude. Real as fuck. Yeah.
But do we want to like?
We can do closing thoughts. Closing thoughts.
closing thoughts.
Everybody. I
Second
can start
thought.
because I played this game the most recently, and I have the least amount of stake probably in this game. Even though I absolutely love it, I just think I have the least amount of stake in this game because like, yeah, I haven't beaten. I haven't played.
2025 too late to get into waiting for Silksong?
Yeah, I mean, it's also because I haven't done all the DLCs. I know Guy and Connor's almost got done it all, but Guy hasn't done it all, and I know Connor's very close. But
I just need to beat Pantheon 5.
yes, so I will go. I played this game this year. Thank you, Guy, for gifting me the game when it was $7.50. Because this game.
Speaking of, it will be at $7.50 until Silksong comes out. So play Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Play it while you can. Play it while you can. Play it while you can.
You can beat it before Silksong comes out, and you will not regret it. But I so glad I picked this game back up after I beat it, or after I dropped it for like 3-ish years. I think I dropped it for 3-ish years. I think I started it during COVID when it was on Xbox Game Pass. I don't remember exactly when that time was, but I played it, didn't really enjoy myself all that much, and then got off. And then I came back, an older person, a very changed person, and I went, wow, this game is absolute peak. And I played through it. Guy, Connor, and Dylan's girlfriend all watched me play through parts of that game. And
Chris is giving a thumbs up in the background.
No, Chris did watch. I didn't want to name drop it's fine, but I think it's really funny that like I got to share this moment with a lot of my friends of beating this game that like they both love, and now I get to talk here about and say how good of a game it is because it's a fantastic game. Like there's so much of that game that every other like game could learn from on like how to just make a good video game because it's just a prime example of what a good video game is, and it was made by 3 people. 3 people just was like, what if we made a good game and then had nothing but fun while making it, and then they made so much money that they're doing it again, but they made double the Hollow Knight. That is what Silksong is. It's Hollow Knight, but 2 Hollow Knights.
It's 2 Hollow Knights put into one, and they slapped the thing on it, and it's a different game now.
And they have plans to make even more of it.
Yes, they are already saying for DLC. So this game is like, man, it is just it should be it's a staple indie game for a reason because like this is what quality is. Like this is like you slap it on like the back and it's like solid. It's just that good. Like there's weird analogy, but like it's such a good game that you just can't. They're like the faults in that game that I had disappear later on. I just think that game is so amazing. Every single aspect of that game has so much to offer in such a small little package, and I think that's just a beautiful thing. But that is why Hollow Knight is goated, and you should play it if you haven't, and if you have played it, I'm so happy that you all of your waiting has been rewarded.
Thank you, Liam.
Oh yeah. I think I should start next because I feel like I will have the second least amount to say because I know we have a speedrunner of the game with us right now, and we have someone who has been doing Pantheon 5 for years. So yeah, I will let them go last. But basically, Hollow Knight was such an interesting game for me because this was like during the time when I want to say like the end of COVID. So like this was like during a time for me where I really didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do whatsoever. I noticed it was on Game Pass. I heard a lot of people talk about it, and I'll be honest, when I first got into the game, I didn't see the appeal. And this is because this was my first ever Metroidvania. I couldn't get into it. And then like I gave it a little more time. I did the first Shaw fight, the first fight against Hornet. And that's when it all clicked to me. that is when it all clicked. When I got my first upgrade, like power upgrade, that's when it all clicked for me. When I was like, wait, this game might be kind of peak, and it is. And I gotta say, the lore to this game is phenomenal. I think it is some of the best lore, like out of a very small development team. The writing is incredibly good for a world that of like this size. I think that it is so well fleshed out. I think it is so much fun to traverse, so much fun to experiment with, so much like fun to just play as the knight and do as much as you can in such a like vast open like environment. I think this is legit my favorite Metroidvania that there is. And that's saying something because like I've played Metroid Dread, I've played Metroid Prime, but they don't have that same feeling that I had like playing Hollow Knight. Again, that might be because like, hey, this is my first Metroidvania, so I might have like a soft spot for it, but like this is just a once in a lifetime video game, and I don't think that like even though like Silksong is coming out very soon, I don't think the magic is going to be like the magic that this game brought to me is going to be replicated, or at least for a while. Who knows? Silksong might be just that game and just be completely better in every way, shape, and form. I'm expecting that game to be another 10 out of 10, another like blow everything out of the water in terms of expectations. I'm excited for it. I really am. And I just gotta say, oh my god, if you have not played Hollow Knight, it is on Game Pass. It goes on sale very frequently. It is $7.50 right now on the Steam and probably some other stores as well. Please, please play Hollow Knight. If you enjoy fun, if you love exploration and just good game, play it, please. It is so worth it. But yeah, that concludes me.
Alright, I guess it's my turn.
Yay!
I think Hollow Knight is one of those games.
Sorry, I just had to say that. Go on.
Hollow Knight is one of those games I think really anyone should play. It is so well designed from like start to end, in my opinion. I do have like nitpicks with it, as I do with any game, but I genuinely think the game is just so well constructed from every moment that I can easily look past those flaws. And I think everything from the combat to the music to the lore to the map design to like especially the bosses is just insane. And it's crazy to me that Silksong on all of those fronts looks like it's going to be better. The combat looks like it's going to be better. The bosses looks like they're going to be better. The map design and the background and the general art looks like it's going to be incredible. I'm assuming they were able to get Christopher Larkin back, so the music will also probably be better. Which the fact that a game that I hold in my top 10, 90% sure in my top 10, at least top 15, could have a version of it that is just better is really insane to me, and I am beyond excited for Silksong. I have been counting down the days ever since we got that release date revealed, and I remember I promised myself I would beat Pantheon 5 before Silksong came out, but that was before I got a 2-week timer placed on me, so I don't think that's happening. But yeah, I genuinely love Hollow Knight. Just honestly, just like in general, it has inspired me as someone who wants to create to pursue stuff like that. It's helped sort of fuel this like little passion I have burning in me to like compose video game music and stuff like that. And it generally is just like a very big inspiration for me as someone who aspires to be a video game creator. And yeah, this holds a very, very special place in my heart. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Dylan, you're up, man.
Dear Hollow Knight. No, this. Okay. But no, I mean, I know we've all said it. I love Hollow Knight. I was introduced to this game at a young point in my life. I think I was like, oh my god, like 14 maybe, and it has given me nothing but joy. But also like some of the bosses suck, but nah, I love Hollow Knight. I beat it for the first time in 2018. I completed Pantheon 5 for like the first time in like freshman year of high school. That's how hard that shit was for me. I've I've speedrun it countless times. I've put so much time into Hollow Knight. I've probably like purchased the game like 3 separate times, like on my computer and then my Switch, and then I lost my Steam account and then I got it back, and the first thing I did was buy Hollow Knight again. Like every time I'm like playing video games, like it really is just like, yo, I could be playing Hollow Knight, and I'm just obsessed with this game. So upset. I've done everything. I've beaten every boss without getting hit because that's how much I loved Hollow Knight. I just wanted to do everything, and I don't think I've ever been, other than like maybe Smash, I don't think I've ever been like more obsessed with a game. And I don't know. It made me better at games in general. I get to talk to people about it, and then they listen to my nerdy little interest.
Oh, dude. What a perfect way to end this video. Oh my god. Dylan, I just want to say thank you so much for coming by and just joining us for this video. I know this is your favorite game. I'm glad we got to bring you on here. And I'm glad that we all came together to share just our joy for this video game. This is one of the best Metroidvanias to ever come out. And we're excited for Silksong to come out. And with that being said, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like and subscribe button so you can watch more content like this in the future. And comment down below how long you have been waiting for Silksong to come out. For me, it's personally been 4 years. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We've been FetchQuest, and this has been our episode on Hollow Knight. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. See you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.